Alright, good morning guys. It's 5:36 and 18.2 degrees. 8,000 feet above, 8,800 feet above the oceans. It's May 5th. It's day 33. I'm gonna get up. Alright guys, 7:05 a.m. on day 33. 22.4 degrees. Chilly. I think yesterday and last night were kind of forecast to be particularly chilly nights, so hopefully that was a bit anomalous, but you know, we survived. There's midnight right in front of me there. We're actually breaking out at the same time today, which is pretty exciting. Again, not quite sure, like usual, exactly what we're gonna do today. I'd like to go 25. We'll see. About the same elevation today as we had yesterday, although today it's going to be broken up into a couple different climbs. But to begin, we have a big long descent, and there's a water source in like 2 miles, a water source in 3 miles, and then the next water source is in about 9 miles. I'll say, man, to look at the maps and stuff, it looks for all the world like north of Cuba is where the faucet turns on for all intents and purposes. I mean, it's still nothing like the East Coast or the AT or anything, but there's actually water north of Cuba in a way that there really wasn't a lot of water south of Cuba all the way down to the beginning of the trail. So that's exciting because we don't have to carry as much. But yeah, north of Cuba equals water, at least in my observation, my extremely limited one-day observation so far. So yeah, today's our only day waking up and going to sleep in a tent on this jump, which is kind of interesting. I think it's the only three-day jump we've had on the whole trail, I think. But so far, yeah, not a whole lot more to report. I will get hiking and check in with you guys later. Guys, 129, 59.4 degrees, leaving Fuentes, I think is what it was called, Fuentes Spring, which was a lovely spring with nice clean water. Met up with Midnight Chocolate on the climb up. Yeah, had a nice little snack, got some water, carrying out some water. But when we left Fuentes Spring, I realized that my Garmin InReach Mini is no longer attached to me and nowhere to be found. So I'm not sure where it is. I imagine it's someplace in the last 5 or 6 miles. I did receive, strangely, very strangely, and somewhat inexplicably, I received a text message from my device, and what it says is found device left at the intersection of SR96 and CDT. And then it has a link to Garmin, which the link doesn't do me any good. What I'm not sure about this message is whether it was a human who was able to send it, or whether it was somehow like auto-generated. I did message my Garmin back with my phone number and asked that the person, or assuming it's a person who found it, message me, text message me to my phone. Of course, cell phone service is extremely spotty. And then I also sent a message to all the people with whom I've been hiking who are behind me and let them know. I also left a comment on the Far Out app at that intersection and at multiple points trail north of that intersection with my contact information. And that intersection's probably 6 or 7 miles behind me at this point down a big mountain. So I'm really not sure exactly what to do about that. What's more is that the exact phrasing of the message which I received was unclear, kind of vague about whether, assuming it was a person who is familiar with a Garmin and able to send that message, which I think is a fair assumption, and sent me that message from there. Assuming it was a person who typed out that message, the message was a little vague as to whether they found it and they were carrying it with them, they found it where it was left at State Road 96, or whether they found it at State Road 96 and left it there. Like, found device left at State Road 96. That could mean that they found it there, or that they found it and left it there. So I'm not really sure exactly what the meaning of the message is. I mean, it's hopeful that someone found it, someone who feels an impulse to at least get in touch with me over there having found it. But I don't know whether my Garmin's just sitting on the side of the highway or whether someone found it there and is bringing it with them. Either way, I've done, just about all I feel like I can do short of hiking back down a mountain 7 miles and sinking what would be about 15 miles of the day. I don't, for a Garmin that might not be there. I'm just not really sure what to do. So what I've done in the meantime, again, like I said, I sent a message to everyone behind me. I dropped comments on Far Out. I definitely messaged the family, all of my IRL contacts who look forward to my Garmin check-ins every night and morning. So they know not to expect to hear from me anytime in the foreseeable future. And, that's really all I can do. And then, to add insult to injury, I've been back and forth as to whether or not to share this, but you follow the thru-hiking channel, so if you're faint of heart, boy, turn off or skip ahead or something. But I realized I had lost my Garmin not far from Fuentes Spring, probably a quarter mile or something up yet another hill. And again, I had left Fuentes Spring with Midnight Chocolate, and so she was kind enough to volunteer to babysit my pack while I run back down to the spring and see if maybe it had just dropped there or something. Well, I went down to the spring and had an extremely emergent case of bubble guts, which demanded immediate attention, and my pack was nowhere nearby with any of the sort of toiletries that would usually be used in such a situation. So I had a legit old-fashioned thru-hiker emergency, not related to the Garmin, while looking for the Garmin. And luckily I was able to, push on after that, and there was a spring nearby, so I was able to clean up, and here we are. So, good news, my stomach's feeling better, and I'm clean. But bad news, boy, it's been an exciting, really exciting hour and a half. So, welcome to thru-hiking. Goodness gracious. All right. Well, that's all. Now you're all caught up on all of the details. That's pretty much all of them. The rest of them would just be gratuitous, and I'll save you that. So, Midnight Chocolate's up ahead. She kind of scooted along. I can't blame her. But I got cell phone service and sent those messages and stuff back up at the top of this last hill. So, we'll see. Should be in Ghost Ranch tomorrow. I'll
hopefully someone will roll in the afternoon, and I would love to buy that person a beer or two. So, you know, we'll see. We'll see how we go. Check in with you guys later. All right, 8:01 p.m. Far and away the latest day of hiking so far, but midnight's been nice to placate me. I checked my Gaia recording, and I was like less than 2.5 miles away from rolling 30 miles on the day, which is, I mean, once you're that close, unless you're feeling dead, I feel like you kind of got to go, especially when I know tomorrow night is a bed, and hopefully a adult beverage or two. But yeah, decided to do a walking evening check-in. We haven't quite found a suitable place to camp here. We're up on Mesa de las Viejas, which is a frequently skipped little section of the CDT on account of the steep competition offered by the Ghost Ranch alternate. Well, we decided to split the difference, come up to this beautiful, beautiful mesa, and then bail out and head down to Ghost Ranch at some point tomorrow morning. And honestly, zero part of me regrets that decision. So credit to Midnight for piecing that together. Good work, Midnight.
Thank you.
Well, today was an interesting day, that's the truth. Lost the Garmin. Who knows if that's going to turn up? Guess we'll see. There's only so much I can control, and whether I worry or stress is going to have zero bearing on whether it shows up or not. So try and make the best out of the rest of the day. And the other issue I described earlier, that other issue, you know, once it passed, it was resolved. So that's very fortunate, because I've been taking just constant physical inventory to make sure that nothing else is ailing me and that isn't like an actual problem. So luckily it was one and done. And ooh, yeah, that's not bad. Yeah, so you know, I mean, I was just joking with Midnight before I turned on, and again, I mean, you guys are the guys who decided to follow a thru-hiker, so I'll share the full thing with you. But I was joking with Midnight, and I'm like, look, man, any day you can just about poop your pants and lose a $350 piece of electronic equipment and still feel like it was a good day, that's how you know it was a good day. So, you know, I'll hang my hat on that, and tomorrow's a new day. So anyways, this is definitely going to be the last check-in of the night, not only because we are searching for a good place to camp, but because we are running extremely thin on daylight. So I'll check in with you guys tomorrow. Thanks so much for watching. Sorry if I offended any of you with the details, but again, hey man, you're the one who chose to follow thru-hiker. So good, bad, or indifferent, I'll give you the straight dope. So talk to you guys tomorrow. Have a good night.